Hello, everyone. It's been a while that you've seen me in person, and I figured that since we've just passed 2,000 subscribers, in fact, we are, let me check quickly, right now at 2,103. That's a good point to celebrate. I welcome everybody who's new to the channel and say hi. So, hi. To celebrate, like I said, the 2,000 subscribers, I think I'll do the same thing that I did last time. I will do a Ask Me Anything session where I'll leave a link to a form in the description of this video. So if you've got anything that you would like to know and no topic is taboo, then add your question and I'll give it a few days and then I'll make a video of going through your questions and grouping them and answering them to the best of my capabilities. So you can ask stuff on the channel, you can ask political opinions if you want, you can ask personal stuff, whatever you want to ask. If there's anything that I can't legally answer because of YouTube restrictions, then that's pretty much the only thing I'm kind of probably going to avoid. Anyway, that out of the way, I do actually have a list of notes here because there's a fair few things that I want to talk about today. The next thing that I would like to talk about is AI. And well, you all pretty much know at this point, if you've watched any videos on my channel, that I occasionally dabble in the usage of AI to generate imagery. And I have at some point also tried a little bit earlier the usage of video generation for AI. I've given up on the video stuff simply because I just wasn't happy with it in the long run. I have tried it for a few things and it was sort of okay and exciting in the beginning, but the bigger point really for me at this stage is the general abuse of AI, especially on platforms like YouTube. It is really, really bad to the point that there's so much stuff out there that is outright fake, and AI, not just AI generated videos, but AI scripts that are just publishing complete nonsense. Especially in the, and I am relatively interested in the history side of things, so especially in the historical focus side, there are just videos out there that are just proclaiming general falsehoods stated by AI. Louis Rossmann, if you're aware of him, has published a review of a video about Right to Repair that was just completely faked and AI in order to capitalize, right? So this is basically spam. It's AI spam that is flooding the platforms, and it is a daily chore for me to outright block channels that are just publishing rubbish. I don't trust anything that is vertical, but even the good old landscape format is already being inundated with this nonsense. Now there are good channels out there, so. There are channels out there that are making AI generated videos that are really, really good because either they're funny or they are done really, really well by people who actually know what they're doing and who have an idea about cinematography and how to use these tools correctly and actually putting the effort in. So we have to distinguish here between the, just spam stuff, right? A few years ago, if you've looked at YouTube and if you had small children, then you would have been aware of the spam channels that are just using farms of people over in East Asia to generate kids videos that were just colorful and complete garbage. And they would just spam them across YouTube to gather millions and millions of views. It was just rubbish, but it was still people-based. So today it's a lot easier because you can basically just get AI to create some slop that you just upload and then cache in, right? So outrage slop and misinformation, anything that triggers emotion. You see it on thumbnails that the good old clickbait is becoming increasingly AI focused of people doing the Home Alone face like this. And then, I don't know, some airplane crashing or some other nonsense going in. Even reputable channels are doing this. And I hate it. So at the same time, I am using AI as a tool for myself. Because, for example, if you look at series like the Crusader Kings series, right, I'm a one-man operation. I plan videos, I record videos, I edit the videos, I do the graphical stuff, and I upload videos and I reply to the comments. It's just me. There's nobody else. I don't hire an editor. I don't have a script writer, and I definitely can't hire a graphics designer. So if it wasn't for the ability to use AI to generate images, like the one seen on, say, Crusader Kings, then I couldn't do this, right? Old history scenarios are a different story. So generally on the Hearts of Iron 4 series, you'll see intros that are where I can find historical footage that I can use. So this is basically a license copyright thing, because I do get the occasional complaint if I've used something that I thought was public domain, but it isn't. So far, I haven't gotten any strikes, but you have to be really, really careful. And that's correct, right? You don't just use copyrighted material. That's the whole point of it. That said, I'm not a big fan of the big copyright squatters that are just trying to license things. So, for example, right, if I wanted to use a historical image that's just a photograph, right, I would be, and I wanted that to license that through one of the big Getty Images, Alamy, any of these kind of things, I'd be looking at $50 maybe, which is about 10 times of what a video actually makes. So there's absolutely no point in doing that sort of thing. So I can, if it's not public domain, I can't use it, and because licensing is unviable. So that's the first part. And then obviously I try to use historical images wherever possible, or historical video footage wherever possible, simply because it's more authentic. But oftentimes you have old history scenarios, like especially in the Kaiserreich area. So what am I going to do with Imperial Russian troops fighting in Kenya? Right? That's just not something that has happened, and ergo there is no image for it. So I could either just ignore that and just give you raw game footage, but I do like the idea of filling in the story, and I feel like this is the whole point of the channel, is to expand on what the game actually is in a more grandiose frame of storytelling, and visual storytelling there is necessary. So I'm then very lucky to be able to use AI tools to generate such images and to generate realistic looking photos. So I'll continue doing that. I will be okay. So if you, for example, if you see a thumbnail and there is, I do like the sort of fade between game image, a screenshot, and some other image. So if you see that, then there might be an AI generated image in it, but the thumbnail itself, I am making that, right? So it's not that I say, AI, make me a thumbnail for this. I've been experimenting with tools like vidIQ, which is rather popular, which can do AI-generated thumbnails. Not something I would do. I generate maybe the inputs for things. So that's sort of where I'm drawing the line, is what I'm trying to say. I might generate the raw material using AI wherever appropriate, and there's no other alternative available. And this isn't a short-time thing. This takes actually quite a lot of work. So I'm generating the raw material, but everything that you see is hand edited by me. So the videos are, the thumbnails are. I then go into GIMP and hand edit. It's the Linux Photoshop, and hand edit the whole thing together. Also, it's not like you just snap your finger, tell AI, make me a thing, and then you get a thing. So I've recently just looked through all the concept art for Crusader Kings 3, and what you're actually seeing in the videos is maybe about half of it, because there's or maybe a third, because there's a whole process in it, right? So I'm telling an image generating AI to go and say, make me an image that shows Bernard standing on top of a hill holding a battle axe. And then I get something quirky. Sometimes it doesn't take the input correctly and it just kind of rubber stamps it in the middle. Sometimes he holds a battle axe that has an axe head on both ends because he doesn't understand how battle axes work. Sometimes he's got 3 arms, right? All this kind of nonsense. So generating these images is not a short-term thing. I can easily spend, say, 15 minutes, 20 minutes on a single image on the Crusader Kings series. And just to get what I want, to describe to the AI what I want conceptually, and to get out the kinks. And some things it just can't fix, right? sometimes I'm just going to go and say download the image, but then again I go into GIMP and patch over the little things, right? When one of the characters had one leg, AI doesn't get that. I couldn't get AI to make one-legged people. It just didn't work, right? Like for that, I have to go in and do that by hand, and that then takes another 30 minutes, 1 hour. So there's despite the use of AI, there's a fair amount of work in that. So how do you recognize what's AI? And I'm being relatively explicit about it. YouTube has its own system of declaring that you have used AI to generate a video. So whenever there is something AI generated in the video, that only applies to the source material, because I don't use any AI for editing. I don't use AI for voice recording. I don't use AI for scripting or anything like that, and it's going to stay that way. If that ever changes, I'll let you know. But I'm using that to declare it. But YouTube obviously hides that somewhere in the bottom of the description where people don't see it. So I also declared in the not for the old videos, but I've started that a few months already at this point back, maybe 2 months back or so. I'm actually adding a disclaimer inside the description. And I am also putting an overlay. So if you look at the bottom right corner, there's whenever something is AI generated in the newer videos, I haven't done this for the old ones because obviously I would have to re-render the whole bloody thing, which I'm not doing. But for the newer videos, there will be, whenever something is AI, there will be a little AI stamp in the bottom right corner of the image. So it's extremely clear that this is an AI generated thing. So I feel like this is a middle path that lets me both use the advantages of AI to generate source material that I couldn't otherwise either make or find anywhere licensable, and at the same time still making it as explicit as possible for you as the viewer to know. Because I feel like what puts me off about AI, and I think that's true for everybody else, is the cheating, the deception. When something gets presented as legit, but then AI starts showing up and you see it, or you don't even, you see it somewhere, and then you go, oh crap, this is actually an AI video. I actually start reading the comments when I start watching a video that I suspect because people call it out. And I just don't want anything to do with that. So as long as I make it explicit, you can decide for yourself. You say, yeah, I'm cool with that, or it's yet another usage of AI, then feel free to skip over it. But again, the work for everything else, well, including the AI images, because that is a fair amount of work to generate the darn things, is my own. And I'm extremely conservative when it comes to adopting new stuff there. So I might look at AI video generation again at some point. It's come a long way since I've last tried it because everything moves so fast in that space. But not on the cards right now. And I might integrate that in the future if it becomes good enough that it can stick with the videos. Anyway, enough about that. Do let me know if you have any objections to this kind of things. Feel free to drop some comments on. And I think we all have to find our comfort zone in this rapidly changing world. Next topic. What do we have? Yes, the number of videos. So I am aiming for 7 videos a week. I know this is a lot of work from my side, but I feel like I need this channel to grow. I am not sacrificing anything for that. Like I said, I've tried out vidIQ, but mostly it's just trying to get me to AI generate thumbnails, AI that are clickbaity, AI generate titles that are more clickbaity, AI reply to comments, which is a thing apparently. And hell no, I'm not doing that because that would be ridiculous. So I'm simply going to make more videos and make videos that people like, hopefully. But I will also be expanding the range of games, because right now we've been running Crusader Kings 3 and obviously Hearts of Iron 4. Hearts of Iron 4 is going to stay as a sort of mainstay because I simply absolutely love this game. Crusader Kings is going to take a break. So the spin-off Bernard series, I think, has ended. It should have ended today or yesterday when it was released. And the main Bernard series is still going to go on for quite a while. But I am planning to now start with Suzerain as well. So you should hopefully start seeing that this week. This was highly requested for a long time. And I'm going to bring that onto the channel. This is going to be a blind series. So I've never played this game before. And because that's how people recommended to me doing this. So I'm going to go in this completely blind, which means I don't even know what I'm going to do with this sort of intro artwork kind of style. I've experimented a little bit with a sort of 1950s Eastern Europe style of artwork because I felt like that sounded like a direction that this was going to go. But I don't know enough about the game in order to decide that yet. So I'll take this as it comes. But production of that is going to start this week, and we'll see when we can get the first episode out. Other than that, things that I have on my list of things to do. So I've got a fair amount of games that I want to feature. I would like at some point to bring Crusader Kings 3 back. I'm planning to do a Philippines series because of the East Asian expansion. And I have some personal connections in that direction of the world. So I think that would be great fun. I am also looking at the in terms of Hearts of Iron 4. I'm going to make a poll once the Russia series is coming close to an end. I'm going to make a poll of what we're going to be doing next in order to figure that out, what it is that you all want to see. But like I said, Suzerain as well. I'm planning to make shorter sort of story semi-documentary style videos aiming at about close to half an hour of the existing Hearts of Iron 4 campaigns for the people who don't have the time or the stamina to sit through hundreds of hours of gameplay, because it's not for everybody, right? You have to accept that. So for those, I might make a sort of documentary style, more scripted, highly edited compilation. I'm start working on that for the Germany campaign, to use the old footage to bring it together in that sort of thing. It's an experiment. I'll have to see how much this is going to be. A lot of work. So I might be at this for quite a while, but I'm going to see how much interest that gathers. Just because not everybody wants to see these really long campaigns. So that's just going to happen in parallel to things. I am also planning to do a Fallout feature. So I don't know yet when that's going to happen, but the idea is to run a Hearts of Iron 4 modded Fallout modded campaign in parallel with a Fallout 4 actual sort of story campaign to a degree. I've already got the script down for that. I've got character development and everything sorted. I've test played Fallout 4 a little bit. I've spent probably about 10 to 20 hours getting the right mods in that I like to have, because it's a Bethesda game, so you kind of have to, because it's going to be rubbish otherwise. And the idea is to have some sort of double feature there. I don't have a timeline for that yet, but we'll see when that comes in. And I do have other games that I want to feature down the road. Somebody in the comments somewhere, I haven't found that comment anymore. It's got drowned somewhere, or YouTube might have removed it or something. But somebody in the comments asked me if I was ever going to feature XCOM. I love XCOM. I've actually featured XCOM on my other channel, but the mobile versions of XCOM 1 and 2. And not sure if I'm going to do that again. I might. So that's definitely something that I could consider. I've got there are fair few games out there that I could make videos on, like U-Boat, a lot of naval tactical stuff that I could still feature. Obviously, the big Paradox stuff may at some point come in. Right now, my son's gotten me into Elden Ring, so I've been playing that a bit. That is not going to be featured on the channel, but simply because I'm completely crap at this kind of game. But there's plenty out. There's plenty still out there, but I'll see where we're getting at and what we're doing. The Fallout stuff I do want to do sooner rather than later, so we'll see when that comes in. But for now, you're going to get Suzerain as an additional series. Crusader Kings is still going to run until, I think, June, July or something. So there's still a lot of content to come. And Hearts of Iron Russia is still going on, which means that we'll see what comes in after that. And then what goes on. But yeah, that's the plan. If you're here from my other channel and you're asking, Terry, why is there no World of Warships Blitz? Yeah, I am as unhappy about this as you are. Unfortunately, to a degree, this has health reasons. I am now 9 months since the last COVID infection, and my fatigue is not getting better. So previously, after 6 months-ish, it was normally quite gone. But I'm struggling with fatigue. I'm struggling with problems with joints and muscle pains quite significantly, and I'm struggling with blood pressure reaction on stress quite significantly. So this is why it's a lot easier for me to do something like Hearts of Iron 4 or Crusader Kings, because I can play that, I can record that. But it's not real time. I can stop things. I can look into things. I don't know how well Fallout is going to work. So I might actually do a bit of test test recording first to see how well that works and if that starts causing me stress problems. But especially multiplayer stuff is just because I can't, like, even if Fallout doesn't work that well, I can always just reload things or do things over, right? Stuff like that. But in multiplayer is hard for me, so for these reasons. That said, I am planning to get back into it this month in April, but it'll be very slow. So at best, I might be looking at maybe a video per week. So that's I do still want to do this because, well, I miss the community as much as you missing me, I hope, and it frustrates me to no end. But that's something I'm going to plan on bringing back as well as part of the overall plan. Yeah. And yeah, don't forget the 2,000 subscribers, Ask Me Anything link in the description for the form. Add your question there. I'll group them up. And in a few days, I'll go through that and make a video where I shall be answering your questions. So thanks, everybody. Good to see you again. We are at 22 minutes. I am trying to not waffle on for too long and keep it short because I am somewhat prone to that, as you may have noticed. And yeah, as you can see, my voice is also a little giving up today. So I'm going to leave it at that. I wish you all a great week and stay safe out there. And I'll see you all the next time.